Today, Amanda, Gillian, Kate, and myself, Diamond, will be drawing British Columbia's television and film industry. We will discuss the history, environmental impact, economic value, and the present state of the industry. In 1913, the TV and film industry was developed in British Columbia, although it was not popular until the 1930s. The very first movies shot here were Cowpuncher's Glove and The Ship's Husband, both shot in 1910 by the American studio Edison Manufacturing Company. The Cinematograph Act was introduced in 1928 in Britain to ensure that 15% of British films would be of British Commonwealth. Because Canada joined the Commonwealth in 1931, BC took advantage of the law and began to produce many quota quickies, with much involvement of American companies. Quota quickies were low-cost, poor-quality films that were made because of the Cinematograph Act.
Wouldn't they lose money for making bad films?
Yes, they did. They were considered to be failures in the industry. Skipping 30 years later, BCI Entertainment shot the first TV show in BC, called The Littlest Hobo, from 1963 to 1965. It became very popular around the world. Soon after, BC became known as Hollywood North due to its isolated location from other major film communities such as Montreal and Toronto. A film development office was established in 1977 to market the province to a Hollywood community in America. So, Kay, how much did they make?
Well, in 1978, BC's film and TV industry spent $12 million.
Oh right, and then a few years later, the Vancouver Film Studio was formed. Within the next decade, the Lionsgate Company formed, and these two companies are now the largest TV and film studios in Canada.
Eventually, in 1998, the industry spent over $807 million, and within a year, it reached $1 billion.
And entering the 21st century, it spent $1.1 billion, creating an economic impact of $3.3 billion.
"192 film and TV productions were shot in BC, and the following year it rose 5 productions more. 113 were Canadian productions, worth $281.6 million, and 84 were foreign, worth $856.8 million. The industry has grown at an annual rate of 21% over the last 10 years. Over 36,000 people were estimated to be employed in the industry, with locals making up 97% of the production crew. BC is home to hundreds of film and video companies, talent agencies, post-production facilities, shooting stages, and water tank facilities, which are all worth over $1 billion.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and these resources were created by a high-level activity within Vancouver. It also has the ability to crew and service 40 projects simultaneously and accounts for 60% of all foreign location of TV and film productions in Canada. BC have the resources for the industry, but they also understand that a lighter footprint for our environment means a longer life for our valued assets.
Beginning in 2006, Real Green BC was created to encourage green initiatives for TV and film production. They inform ways of lightening our footprint with different departments of the industry, like transportation, managing food and catering waste, and disposal of sets and hazardous materials. This all leads to a non-polluting, environmentally responsible green industry sector.
With more than 3,500 shows and films made in Vancouver, it has supported over 25,000 high-quality, well-paying, knowledge-based jobs.
Some popular films and shows shot here in BC include New Moon, Breaking Dawn, Diary of the Wimpy Kid, Supernatural, and 21 Jump Street.
So what if I want to become an actress?
Well, there are common regulations for people working under the provincial labor laws, but there are specific regulations for young people who work in film, TV, or commercials. School comes first, so they should make sure they're getting all their assignments done and on time before thinking of work. Work begins at call time and ends when they're out of makeup and costume. All work time is considered paid time, which includes when they're being tutored for school but not when they eat meals. The earliest they can work is 5 a.m. If there's school the next day, the latest they can work is 10 p.m. But if there's no school, the latest is 12:30 a.m. Did you know that BC was the third largest production center in North America after New York and LA? But then they suffered a decline in production after Ontario introduced a new TV and film tax credit regime, boosting production there.
Each year, the industry averaged at $1.1 billion for the provincial government through direct product spending. This was with the help of BC's tax credit program. Ever since, it has contributed $14.3 billion to the economy. Now, what are tax credits?
I don't know.
Is it okay?
It's a direct reduction in the amount of taxes a person makes. For example, if someone has a $40,000 taxed income and a $10,000 tax credit, in the end they have a $30,000 reduced taxable income. People use this to take advantage of education expenses, energy-efficient products, first-time home buyers, and in this case, tax credits of 33% for labor costs in the TV and film industry, with 17.5% for digital animation and visual effects. Along with the risen tax credits in other provinces, absence of big-budget US films, rising in Canadian dollar, and the dominance of cheap shows made 2004 to 2005 one of the worst years in the industry. In 2009, both Ontario and Quebec raised their tax credits to 25% for all production expenses incurred in the provinces, and successfully luring productions from BC.
The industry is currently losing to Ontario and Quebec. Last year, BC had a $134 million drop in production and 3,500 jobs were lost, from 39,500 to 36,000, while in Ontario, they gained $450 million of new productions and 8,000 jobs, making it 43,400 to 51,300. Payroll figures BC film and TV production activity in studio or on location declined 32% in comparison with the same period last year.
Film and TV help support and create jobs for our local economies such as small businesses and suppliers, new construction, film-induced tourism, and a significant flow of tax revenues to the provincial and federal government. However, the current situation of the industry is unstable, with many workers unemployed due to high competition with Ontario and Quebec. If this continues, trained and skilled workers will most likely move to different provinces along with their families, and many of the infrastructure accumulated in BC will be leased off. In the beginning of the year, the Mayor of Vancouver, Gregor Robertson, voiced his support for the local industry, but Premier Christy Clark remained apathetic and refused to take action. It has been said that one solution for this problem was to make BC's tax credits on par with the different provinces, which the government has been considering, yet there are no changes. Just in 2011, the industry in Canada created an economic activity of $20.4 billion, and BC's share was 27%. Not only that, but it contributed to $2.65 billion in provincial taxes. These graphs show the greatness of BC's computer animation productions. It shows that BC has approximately 45% of the total production volume of computer animation, and although it received a small decrease, BC kept a huge share of the total.
And currently, BC's film industry is worth $1.2 billion.
However, the future of the industry lies entirely on the provincial government leadership. If a solution isn't found soon, many jobs can be at risk. It can have an effect on the provincial economy, and the name of being one of the top can go down the toilet. The film and TV industry needs support now, or else BC might lose trained and skilled crews and over 1 million square feet of infrastructure that has been playing a big part of the famed Hollywood North.
So that's BC's TV and film industry. Thank you for watching and we hope you enjoyed.